Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a library. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Make it to the very end of the video to see where we will be placing the library in our city. This is the amount of space required to make the library. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing 23 polished andesite in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We then want to add another row directly on top of this. And then, on top of this, extending from left to right, place 9 brick blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 2 dark oak doors. 1, 2, a brick block, 2 more doors, 1, 2, and then another row of bricks extending all the way over to the end. And then place another brick on top of this end brick, and left of it a white stained glass. Left of that, 3 bricks, 1, 2, 3, and then another glass. On top of each glass, place a brick followed by a white stained glass. And then finally place another brick on top of each of those glasses. That will give us this. We actually want to repeat this all the way over here on this opposite side. So on top of this end brick, place a brick. Right of it, a glass. 3 bricks. 1, 2, 3. Glass. Now stack bricks, glass, and a final brick on top of each one of those to give us this. Then we want to place glass block above each one of the 2 sets of doors, like this, with brick in between. And then we can actually build up the entire area using bricks. So we simply want to place bricks in between everything that we have built and extend it up along the sides as well to form a solid wall. On the left and right side of the build, there are a set of 4 windows. There is a space of 3 in between the windows. We want to take the center block of this space and extend the andesite forwards and the brick blocks forwards in between the space. And then at the base, extend the bottom andesite forwards with an additional polished andesite stair stacked on top, like this. We then want to do the exact same thing on this side, so extend the andesite forwards, in between the sets of windows on this side, extend the bottom of the andesite forwards, and then stack a stair on top to separate the sets of windows. We also want to do a similar thing in between these 2 doors here, so extend the andesite forwards, and then the bricks all the way up to the top. Then, leaving a gap of 1 left and right of the doors, we also want to do the same thing. So extend the andesite forwards once again, leaving a gap of 1, and then over here on the right, leave a gap of 1, and then do the exact same thing. However, in this instance, we will not add the additional andesite at the bottom. Instead, we will place polished andesite stairs in front of the bottom of the brick rows and upside down stairs in front of the top of the brick rows, like this. Next, we want to place 2 rows of stone bricks extending forwards from the left and right alcove where we have our 2 sets of doors, just like this. Then, connect these stone bricks down to the ground using 2 rows of stone brick stairs, like this. We want to connect them together in the middle using stone brick stairs. However, here on the side, I'm going to recommend that we place sideways facing polished andesite stairs because I think it looks kind of cool. And then andesite block just underneath like this. So the same thing on the opposite side also. We are also going to place some leaves in front of the left and right side of the library. Just in front of the bottom row of andesite. We will place it everywhere that we can, so just left and right of the main entrance really. We also want to place a polished andesite slab on the outer upside down polished andesite stair blocks that we have at the top of the build and extend those slabs over to the left and right until they overhang the build by one row. Like this. What we will then do is on top of the first initial andesite slabs, we will stack an additional slab, extend that slab forwards, out, and we will do the same thing on this opposite side, so extend up, forwards, out. So we will end up with this shape, and then we will stack these slabs up and inwards equally on both sides until we eventually reach a connection point, and that will give us something which should look like this. Then we want to come up and behind this roof section, place a stone brick on top of this center upside down polished andesite stairs, and extend stone bricks to the left and right, and we want to cover the empty space that we have just underneath the roof. So we'll have something which should look like this. Perfect. We'll leave that as it is for now. Actually, I will take that back because we want to extend the bottom row of stone bricks backwards. The reason being is that that will then allow us to place lanterns hanging from inside of these two doorway areas, and then brown glazed terracotta on the ground below them with two oak leaves on top. So we just want a bit more of a welcoming entranceway. Perfect. Next, grab white concrete and come all the way down to the bottom left hand side of the steps. We want to, from the bottom of the steps, move forwards, left, left, and place a white concrete. Extend this to the left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add another row of white concrete on top of this, and this will give us a sign which we want to write library in front of. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a white banner in there with some black dye. The first letter is L, so Pale Dexter, base. Next is I, pale. Next is B, Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Sheaf, Fess, base. Next is R, Pale Dexter, Chief, Bend. Next is A, Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, Fess. We would need another R, but we're just going to reuse this one, so instead, Y. So, apply the bend pattern, throw white dye in there, and then place the Perfess inverted pattern. Grab that, put white dye back in there, and then apply the bend sinister pattern. So, that will give us everything that we need to write L-I-B-R-A-R-Y in front of our sign. Perfect. Next, the area in front of the library. So it's actually quite fortuitous that I have smooth stone here, but let's say that I didn't. There we go. We are going to dig directly in front of these steps from the left and right points here all the way to the boundary. Then we will remove the first 2 rows of the boundary. The space in between the steps. And replace all of this with smooth stone. And then, personal choice here, I'm going to remove the remaining grass and the boundary and replace all of this with lime terracotta. It's my preference for grass. Over on the left side of the library, you will notice that it's a little bit different than the right. We are just going to remove up to the side here, place lime terracotta, and then the rest of this, I believe I will just have smooth stone. Next, come to the right side of the build and extend each one of the andesite and brick blocks backwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Come over to the opposite side and do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. On the back of the build, connect the two rows of polished andesite together, left to right. Then, add a row of bricks on top. And then, copy the same 4 windows that we have on the right side of the build and the left side of the build onto the back of the build. And then, fill the space in between and on top of them in using bricks. On the back of the build, we want to have the same row of polished andesite and bricks, with the bottom polished andesite extended forwards with a stair on top, in between the left set of windows and over here on the right also. Then, we want to have an additional 2 rows of this, leaving a gap of 1 from the left of these windows as we move inwards. So leave a gap of 1 and then do the exact same thing, just left and right of these windows as well. And then one final row of this in between the 2 inward rows. You'll notice that you'll have a row 3 on the left, row 3 on the right, leaving these 2 rows in the middle. The end result will look like this. You may also want to place oak leaves in between all of the pillars at the back, and I'm also just going to add a single row of lime terracotta in front of all of this. And whilst we're here, I think that we will actually extend the lime terracotta around the side of the building and connect like so. I don't think that that looks too bad. Next, let's remove the entire inside floor of the library and replace it using oak planks. Next, we want to take the area at the top of the entrance and extend it backwards a little bit. So let's start off by extending all of the andesite backwards so that it is at least level with the bricks below it. There we go, something like this. So we can then stick stone bricks underneath all of this, and we can decide whether we like this or not. So from the side, for instance, or from the bottom, it looks like this. As you get a little bit higher, it looks like that. I'm actually quite happy with it just staying this way. So once you're kind of happy with how far back it has extended, you could even extend it all the way back if you want. I'm not doing that. You can extend the polished andesite slabs at the side of the build so that they overhang the back of the build by one row like this, so they're level with the polished andesite below, extend all the way across, and then fill the entire center of the roof in using polished andesite slabs. It is a very large, flat roof, really, really simple to build. With the entire outside of the library built, we can now head inside and work on the interior. First of all, we are going to add bricks around the inside of the entrance. So first we will build up this archway, like so, and then split the area with a vertical row of bricks like this, and then I think that we will leave these two alcoves alone. That will then allow us to use stone brick stairs, and we will place a layer of stairs all the way around the base of everything that we've just made, wrapping around like this. And then we should just be able to place stairs just underneath the doors like this, and here we have an entrance. Nice and simple. In front of the bookshelves, we want to leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 2 oak stairs. Leave a gap and then 2 more oak stairs, just like this. In front of these, spruce fence, and on top of these, spruce trapdoors, like so. Then, oak stairs on the opposite sides. Leave a gap of 1 and then place stairs. Fence in front, stairs on the opposite side, and then spruce trapdoors on top of the spruce fence. We then want to dig out the area in between all of what we have just made, and this is a little bit hazardous. We want to replace all of the oak planks with green wool. And the reason to do this is just to get a little bit of contrast between the floor and the desks that we have just made. Next, I will place 2 end rods behind each end of the seats that we've made with green glazed terracottas on top. So this will provide some lighting, and it also just adds a little bit more colour to the library like this. So these are just meant to look like lamps. Let's also add a row of green carpet, or better yet, green wool in front of the back row of bookshelves that we have here. I'd also recommend using chiseled bookshelves as well, just to give the appearance that some books are missing. I also really like scaffolding to give the appearance of a ladder system so that we can climb up and get the books. And there's no reason that if you wanted to, you couldn't just actually have ladders on the actual bookshelves as well, if you do feel as though that looks a little bit better. On the left and right side of the library, we want to stack 2 rows of bookshelves that extend up from the ground and span the width of the library itself. We then want to stack a row of spruce planks on top, like this, and then leave a gap of 2 on the right and the left and place a series of bookshelves that stack from the spruce all the way up to the ceiling. So the end result will look like this. Then place green wool in front of the spruce planks underneath the bookshelves, with a row of spruce planks in front of that actually wants to be upside down spruce stairs. It's actually a personal choice, but upside down spruce stairs for the sake of argument, and then 2 rows of spruce planks extending outwards to meet the stairs. We then want to extend the planks down to the ground, like this, where they will almost hit the back wall of bookshelves. Upside down stairs underneath these. Just like this. We may even have to alter these stairs here so that we have a little bit more room for these spruce stairs. So unfortunately, instead of wrapping around, let's remove those 2 and we'll turn this one sideways, and then this is a little bit nicer to walk up, and we can add some green carpet in front of these 2 sets of spruce stairs like this, and some green carpet in front of the bookshelves that we have at the back here. That's absolutely perfect. We also want to use oak fence, and leaving gaps of 1, place oak fence extending from the wall all the way across underneath the upside down spruce stairs like this, and then place spruce signs in front of the upside down stairs, which will give us this effect. It just looks really interesting. And then we can either use oak trapdoors, or I am considering spruce trapdoors for this. Literally just place spruce trapdoors in front or on top of the upside down stairs and then flip them up so that they just sit at the front of the upside down stairs like this, and it just creates this nice balcony area that just looks really cool. And then similar to what we did with the larger bookshelves, if we add some chiseled bookshelves in whatever sort of pattern you would like, and some scaffolding, and you can even add ladders as well. I do realise I'm kind of repeating what I've done down here, but you know, do alter this until you are happy. And that looks fantastic. We can have this on not only the left side, we then want to apply the exact same thing to the right side of the build as well. So up on the sides of the library and also in between these stairs, we are going to have several areas where we have a bookshelf, lectern next to it, book and quill on top, with an item frame and a book inside of the item frame. So we will do this either side of these stacks of bookshelves. And I also want to do this just in between these lamps and these fence. So roughly about here, right in the middle, the exact same design, except we can add a little bit more flavor to these bottom ones. If you like, you can place some spruce trapdoors around the left side and the back, and it does just kind of alter their appearance a little bit. I think it looks kind of cool, and I'm going to do the same over here on the opposite side as well. And with that final detail complete, we have 100% fully completed our library. This is the part of the video where I would usually tell you that the tutorial is over, but the video is not, as we still have yet to move the library into our city. However, I'm actually rather happy with the position of the library as is. It might move in the future, but for right now, I actually kinda like it here, so we're not going to move it. It is going to live a hopefully long and happy life in the secondary modern suburbs. For now, until I get bored. And that's it. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to make anything else by me that will help expand and improve your city, look no further than the mini city builds playlist that you will be able to find down below in the description and pinned at the top of the comment section. At the time of recording this video, we are over 60 tutorials strong. That'll keep you busy for a really long time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I do hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.